Good day, I'm Stacey Ann Smith, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 22. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller is calling on more inner-city residents to harness their potential and embrace the spirit of community that will allow them to witness the development they deserve.
Where communities are strong and united, we always have peace, and it's not difficult for development to take place in such a community. Sometimes we do not treasure where we live, and sometimes we do not have control over one or two persons in our community. But if the majority are doing well and setting the example, the others will think twice before they try to destroy.
The Prime Minister was addressing Thursday's launch of a water and sanitation project in the Rosetown community. Led by the Rosetown Foundation, it represented the completion of infrastructural works on Harris Street, costing $2 million, raised by His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales through a grant from Kuwait. The main road from Harris Street to Spanish Town Road was paved and water and sewer lines installed. Meanwhile, the Office of the Prime Minister is seeking to clarify media reports of an incident at the Rosetown function which involved the contact between a journalist and the Prime Minister's close protection officers. In a statement Thursday night, OPM said the issue arose after the Prime Minister answered the journalist's questions on the infrastructure development and indicated that she wished no further comment on the reinstatement of State Minister Richard Azan. The journalist reportedly then attempted to continue his questioning, moving toward the Prime Minister as her security personnel began to clear a path so she could proceed to inspect the community development project. The OPM insists that government fully supports press freedom and the right of journalists to ask questions of the Prime Minister, but this must be done with respect for the office of the Prime Minister and in keeping with stated guidelines. The Jamaica House statement reminds that after a similar incident earlier this year, guidelines were established for the proper management of on-location interviews with the Prime Minister. It calls for advance notice and the clearance of interviews with the Prime Minister's on-site personnel. The Office of the Children's Advocate OCA has launched a landmark publication to improve the manner in which children are treated when they come in contact or conflict with the justice system. The Child Justice Guidelines is the first of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean and was developed with funding support from UNICEF Jamaica. At Wednesday's launch, National Security Minister Peter Bunting applauded the publication but urged that all Jamaicans actively support the broader issue of ensuring that children are being raised in a safe environment.
And if we keep trying to address these issues just at the control end, which is once they're already engaging with the justice system or the correctional system, then we're going to have a perpetual supply of recruits to gangs and to criminal activities.
Drafting instructions have been issued for legislation that will enact Jamaica's succession to the Maritime Label Convention of 2006. The convention came into force on August 20 this year. It provides a comprehensive framework for the rights and protection of persons employed or engaged in any capacity on board a ship to ensure, among other things, decent working conditions.
The pieces of legislation to be reviewed are those which cover freedom and association right to collective bargaining, the elimination of forced labor, the abolition of child labor, and the elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation.
And finally, the Ministry of Agriculture has endorsed the development of a sorrel picking machine aimed at enhancing productivity. Minister Roger Clark, who witnessed the demonstration of a prototype developed locally by Turner's Innovations, believes it's a tool that will get more farmers involved in the processing of the crop.
A machine like this, properly put in place, running efficiently, and this is just a prototype, we can have many of these machines all over the country, for that matter. And that would enable us to get the volumes that we need, because when one looks at the amount of sorrel concentrate that's being brought into the country, it is a disgrace.
The Agriculture Minister congratulated the inventors and said RADA stood ready to lend necessary support for the venture to succeed to the point where it can be offered on a commercial scale. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stacey Ann Smith. Thank you for watching.